Hi everyone, thanks for joining us today. Today we're going to be spending some time on the 3550 AZX. We'll start by going over a little bit about the source, then we'll move to the connections in the front and back, and then finally we'll spend some time changing different testing criteria. The 3550 AZX is a regenerative AC and DC source and load, providing up to 55 kilowatts or 55 kVA. The model we're looking at for today's video is the 3550 AZX-8 CHLW. It provides up to 830 volts AC, 680 volts DC, with an extended mode frequency range from 1 Hz all the way to 10 kHz. The AZX series lends itself well to a variety of different applications, including immunity testing, power hardware in the loop, inverters, and those requiring higher power. Let's go ahead now and let's take a look at the datasheet and review some of the features and options available for the AZX series. Now we're looking at page 10 of the datasheet. There on the top left side, we have the output voltage specifications when the 3550 AZX is used as a source and a load. You can see there is a slight decrease in both the AC and DC voltages when used in load mode, from 760 volts line to line and 650 volts DC, as opposed to the 830 volts line to line and 680 volts DC when in source mode. Let's go ahead now and let's scroll down a little farther on our data sheet and take a look at the models, options, and available test sequences. All right, now we're looking at page 12 of the data sheet where the different options and features are shown. Let's go ahead and let's start in the top left corner and let's work our way right. Starting in the top left, we have single cabinets and parallel systems. There you'll see the 3550 AZX is the largest single cabinet unit. To reach the higher power levels, multiple cabinets are parallel together. Working our way right, we have the input voltage. We have our AZX configured as a -8 for a 480 volt three-phase input. All the way on the right, we have our standard features, and there you can see the different features starting with C for inner harmonics, H for real-time I/O power hardware in the loop, L for the electronic load, and then finally W for our isolated neutral wiring. Taking a look below the features in the lower right-hand corner, we also have a guide. It's going to be labeled Model Configurator. Let's go ahead now and scroll down slightly and take a look at our test sequence options. Here are the different test sequences that are available. We have our system with the test sequences installed for the IEC test suite, DO160 section 16, and MIL standard 704F. We can also get additional test sequences if needed. Let's go ahead now. Let's take a look at the front of the 3550 AZX. Here's the front of the 3550 AZX, and we're interested in the front panel at the top of the unit. Starting on the left, we have the menu keys. To the right of that, the LCD display. And then on the other side of the LCD display, we have the soft keys. Below these, we have connections for the SD memory card slot, USB host ports, and our PC monitor output. In the middle, we have the shuttle, and on the right side, the keypad. Along the right side of the unit, we have push buttons for output enable, local, and phase selection. Let's go ahead now, let's get the unit turned around and take a look at the back. Here's the back of the unit. Starting from the left again, we have our auxiliary I/O function section. The top two connections for parallel in and parallel out have been blocked out. Just below that, we have our real-time analog I/O, digital and analog I/O, and GPIB. Finally, all the way along the bottom, we have our LAN and USB connections. More information on these can be found on page 222 of the user manual. As we work our way right, we have our remote sense, output, and input connections. Additional information on the power inputs can be found on page 71 of the user manual. One thing worth noting on the input is that delta or Y can be used so long as the voltage is correct. Let's go ahead now, let's get the system powered up, and let's take a look. Now we're going to spend some time on the web-based software which Pacific Power is transitioning to. We have our computer connected to the AZX via a LAN connection. We went ahead and we grabbed the IP address from the front panel display in the systems folder, and we navigated to the LAN IP. We also made the necessary adjustments to our computer. If you're running this system from us, we include a laptop, which we've already done this for, so it will be plug and play. Taking a look at the top now, we have menu options for home, control, measurement, configuration, and system. We're currently on the home screen now. Here we have information about the instrument and LAN connection. For additional information about the software, the user manual can be downloaded from this menu, second from the bottom on the right. If we scroll down now on the same page, you can see right there we have the SCPI console command line interface. All the way on the bottom we have our browser status bar, and you can see on the left that our source is ready, and then all the way on the right we have a green indicator for online. In between we have some quick links which will go to specific pages within the different menus. Let's go ahead now, let's take a look at changing the different modes. Here's the unit settings page in the configurations menu. And taking a look on the left side, we have the selected phase, and then below that we have our configuration information. As we discussed, the AZX has a few different modes. If we click the operating mode dropdown, you can see right there we have options for voltage source, current source, and active load. If we go ahead and we select active load and then we hit apply, it's going to switch the system over to act as a load. All right, so now you can see we're in the active load mode and our criteria has changed. Let's go ahead now. Let's go back to our voltage source for today's video. So let's go to operating mode, select voltage source, and then let's hit apply. Let's go ahead now and let's take a look at the program page. To do that, click Control and then select the first option down for program. On the top, we have the voltage source programming options, including the voltage and frequency on the left, and then our phase information on the right. Below that, we have a section for measurements. Keep in mind as we walk through the software that all the voltages are aligned to neutral values. Let's go ahead now. Let's take a look at the pre-programmed test routines. To do that, click on Control and then go down to Test Sequence. Here's our test sequence page, and to load different test sequences, we can hit File and then go down to the corresponding sequence. Right now, you can see we have our system configured for both IEC, MIL Standard 704, and RTCA DO160. However, we can add additional sequences if needed. So to navigate to the different tests, click on the standard and then click on the corresponding test category. Just like that, you can see we have all our DO160G tests. All right, that should complete the video today on the Pacific Power 3550 AZX. We began the video by going over a little bit about the source, then we spent some time on the front and the back of the unit, and then finally we did a quick overview of the software. We hope this video has been useful, and please keep us in mind if you ever need to rent the 3550 AZX.